When you talk about your children, I'm not letting anybody hurt them. We share the story, and then you just mentioned now about your husband, your ex-husband and his friend. We share the story about he would bring his girlfriends home.
Oh, wow, yes. There was even one instance where the girl was telling me what to cook.
Huh?
I should not be cooking meat. I should be cooking with fish. Fish is more healthy. And I was just looking at this girl, and they were, in quote, working together. And she would always come to say, oh, this is not right. You shouldn't do this, you know. Obviously, I came from Nigeria now, you know. So this is not right. You shouldn't do this now. This is not how they do things here. This is not how they do things here. And then I'll be looking at my ex to like intervene, and he'll be like, yeah, she's right. You shouldn't be doing that like that. You should be. I'm like, he? But unfortunately, my grandmother would say, listen, your husband would not misguide you. Your husband would defend you. Everything she told me, sometimes I'll say, Mama, no, I'm Mr. Kwasi. Man, you lied. You see this life, all those things you taught me, lies.
Yeah.
Rubbish. But I know that in her time,
it
was one of those things, you know, there wasn't deceit and all that. So yeah, he would, and obviously I wasn't confront him, you know. I didn't even know my right from my wrong. That's the thing. For him, it was his second marriage. For me, it was my first.
Right. So you were not sure if you were the one that had
the
issues.
I wasn't even like, is this how it's done? Who am I going to ask? I don't have a close bond with my mom, so she's not like the mother figure per se. And my grandmother that taught me all those things, I would have been asking her, Mama, how can you say that this, you know? I ask her though, because many times I always have, when I'm having those conversations with myself, I do. And I always say, where did I go wrong? What didn't I do? How didn't I try to make it work? But then you can be the right package in the wrong address, and there's nothing you can do about it. And that's why when I talk, I always say, try and find out the person's background, family background, and know if it is something you can handle. Now, growing up with so much love and meeting somebody who does not know how to handle love, who did not grow up with such love, it can't work, because I'm sure at a point, maybe things I was doing was irritating, like, why are you doing this? Like, I remember when I came to the UK, we have a washing machine, but Victoria, I've never said this thing before, it's so embarrassing. But we have a washing machine, but because some of his shirts are very, I just feel that, oh, you know that neck part, I need to wash it well. I was washing with my hands though, for at least maybe like 2 years, when the clothes started piling, kids' clothes and everything. I'm like, no, I can't be doing this. Let me use the washing machine. But even at that, it's not every kid's clothes I'll put in the washing machine, because either I don't want it to shrink or something. So putting things in the bucket, putting detergent, bleach, washing, for me it was fun. I grew up with that, you know. But he'll come and say, you're just wasting time. Just do this. I'm like, no. At some point, no person tell me that, Victoria, I put this in for washing machine. If the clothes go shrink, may it shrink. If it tear, you know. Yeah. But then me, I'm like, no, now we can. These clothes from my first son, I can keep it for my second son. Yeah. And I was just being prudent, and I thought I was just doing the right thing. But I don't have no regrets, you know, no regrets whatsoever, because everything he did, well, I'm sure whoever he's with now will be enjoying the sacrifices I made with him, and I hope he treats her better. Right. You know, but I don't, no regret.
You left your career in Nollywood at the time because of the marriage, yeah?
Yeah.
Because of him.
Yeah.
And you moved to the UK because of him, yes. And it wasn't a tough decision for you because you were in love.
No, because again, upbringing.
Yeah.
I've gone to university. What next?
Yeah.
Now you've gone to university's career. Yes, then you've gone to university's marriage.
Yes.
So.
Do you regret that now?
You know what? I don't regret it, because I have 3 beautiful children.
Yeah.
I couldn't have.
Yeah.
I don't. And I always remember that you can't get diamonds in a shop. You have to dig, you have to go through fire and everything. So my kids are like, everything that I went through in the marriage, my kids are like my diamonds.
So if you hadn't been physically removed by the police, you would
I
have
wouldn't
stayed in the
have,
marriage?
yes, I would have stayed. And honestly, I don't know, because I think it was getting to that stage. Just before we were removed, I did something. You know the full moon. Obviously, I told you I grew up in the village and I believe in all those things.
Yeah.
So I think I had just had it up to I just went out and I looked up and I said, God, if you don't do something about this marriage, I don't know how you're going to do it. It's none of my business. If I don't live alive, one person will live dead. And I just said it because I'm always thinking, if this guy hits me and I hit my head somewhere and I collapse, because I was never a fighter. I would never fight back. And not that, I just didn't think it was the right thing to do. You see, let me tell you something. Parents, don't raise your children with the same rubbish, discipline or words. Let the children, choose their paths. Guide them, but leave them.
Guide them, but leave them.
Guide them, but leave them, because who I have turned out to be, and no matter, I have tried to change it. At least I'm doing psychology. I'm trying. There are certain things that has been instilled in me, like loving, seeing the good in everybody. Everybody is not good. We have some very mean people on earth. But my grandmother would be like, forget the mean side. There must be something good about the person. Focus on that one, and that is what will escalate and become. Is not true.
It's not true.
It's not true. Because somebody can be so mean, and while you're looking for that good thing in the person is seeing you as an idiot. That you are a fool and everything. Meanwhile, you are still praying and seeing the person. Because I remember in my marriage, my pastors would always tell me, pray about his temper. He has a hot temper. There's nothing. Keep praying for him.
Yeah.
And you too, if you know that he's going to get upset, then move. And I tell them, okay, he comes home, maybe he loses a case in court, and he comes home angry. And for no reason, he could just say, oh, why is that thing there? Or why is the TV like this? Or I told my pastor one day that this guy beat me because a certain football team lost to, his football team lost to another, and that was it. He went and punched the TV, and as he punched the TV, I just said something like, what are we going to be watching? And he turned on me like, is it your father's TV? Or your mother? Did your father bring any television to this house? And as me, the more I was retreating, that is, I took the pain. And that's why that's football team, I hate them.
Which football team is that?
Man U. I hate Man U because the number of beatings when they don't beat me because Man U lose match. Now, even up till today, when there's a football match and Man U loses, I'm like, hi God, thank God. Today would have been that is a beating day. Even my son knows, and my son will be laughing. And we'll just laugh about it like, hey.
Yeah.
If not, the beating where we for collect today.
So did you find the eventual courage to even start speaking out about it? Since the conditioning took a long time to wear off, how did you find?
I think I needed to heal because the abuse didn't stop. It still continued in a different way, and he felt, because he would always tell me, oh, you're the one who is the actress. You're the one who people know. Nobody knows me. So if you go telling people your business, they're just going to hate you. And, to be honest, nobody really cares. And for a long time, I just had to go around with nobody cares. nobody cares. Because obviously this country is new, it's different, you know. But after a while, I'm like, I think it was during that COVID period where we were all at home now. Okay, now boredom sets in. And he still continued to do things. And I'm like, this guy, are you okay? So one day, I think I went on someone's live and I mentioned it. And then after the live, the person said, Victoria, you can actually talk about this, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, really? So that was it. And I started talking. And as I was talking, I was kind of feeling relieved.
Yeah.
I was kind of getting some healing.
Yeah.
But the more I talked, the more he intensified the, oh my God, the abuse. It was, you know, I would just think to myself, like, we're not living together. And so as he intensified it, I think that 2019, I had to go to court to get, you know, full custody of the kids because he was just using the children, you know. And I did until recently when things changed a bit. But, you know, when everything is fine, I'm going to talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah. The thing is, what I want people to get from today is, you know, don't condition your children with certain conditionings that our parents used on us. Life has changed. Life has so changed. Living an abuser does not mean the abuse is going to stop. It will just take different turns, especially when there are children involved. Life is easier if you be your authentic self. You know, stop pretending. Be genuine. Be yourself. You know, live in gratitude. Be kind to one another. Be human. Bring that humanness back. You know, of when someone is going through a difficult period. If you know you can't support, then don't press it, don't rub it in. If you know you can't support, then you walk away and let someone else help. I believe in God Almighty. I believe in the universe. I also believe in my forefathers. I believe in my ancestors. I still communicate with them. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, I always feel my grandmother's presence. My father, my brother. These are people very, very close to me. Sometimes it could be so weird. I could say, okay, Papa, show me a sign that you're here. Maybe a feather or something. There's something just happened and I could just see a feather from somewhere. And I'm thinking, where's the bird? Wow. I've also realized that life is not what you make it. Life is life.
Life is life.